Hello there. I figured I wanted to go in front of the camera because I want to talk about the agony of repeat. And um, I've decided that I'm going to tone down the videos of me calling out Spectrum News New York one because I can't really change, you know, what is going on with their news department. And the fact that it's getting repetitive, it's getting to a point where I'm feeling like I'm getting stressed out over it. And especially how it's just a continuing cycle of, me not being able to maybe change the environment, around me. Bottom line is, I just can't go through it anymore. So the toll that it's taking on me is not going to be good, given the fact that next week I gotta go back to work at not Long Island Jewish, Osnum, the nursing home. I go back to Long Island Jewish on March 8th. And the bottom line is, I gotta focus on, taking care of, bottom line, focusing on that. And it doesn't mean I'm not going away from Passengers United. I mean, I still gotta deal with the Q46 on a weekly basis. And maybe on occasion the Q31 if I'm going to be using that. But in terms of calling out what's going on with our quality of life, I mean, I have to do what's best for me, because it's just going to continue repeating and repeating. And, I'm very grateful that we have the other channels in New York, like 2, 4, 5, 7, and 11, for an example. They spend a lot more time talking about transit, and they spend a lot of time talking about, the crime going on, particularly, you have 2 and 7 who I think do a good job on it, and they spend a lot more time talking about it. And, I'm grateful for that. But in some cases, I feel like most cases we do feel like we're forgotten in Queens. A majority of the time. It's like everyone's so focused on Brooklyn, Manhattan, Brooklyn, Manhattan, Brooklyn, Manhattan. And then you got the Bronx. Don't forget them too. It's like if you're not in any of those 3 boroughs, it seems you don't matter. To me, that is. It's like, oh, we'll just forget about Queens. It's too close to Nassau County and Long Island. Why should they matter? So, I can't really change that. Alright, I'm not Spectrum. I'm not Charter. I'm not the news director. I can't change any of that. I mean, I really have to focus on, the 3 jobs that I technically have at hand. And what's the 3rd job is, of course, being a member of Passengers United. And I need to devote a lot more time, focused on this transit crisis that we are facing, than worrying about Channel 1 not covering a major crime story or, a major fire. I mean, those are serious issues, but, Charlton D'Souza can't really do it on his own. He really can't at the moment. So, I feel like I am a very valuable part of the team, and Thankfully with transit advocacy, it only happens, what, once a month? How's that stressful? And, I'm going to focus on, again, getting back to work. I really want to get back out there and travel. I know I want to see the situation at Willis Avenue in Mineola, because I just do not understand how is the MTA allowed to get away with accessibility. You don't have a sidewalk on Willis Avenue. That needs to be priority number one right now. And, the other priority needs to be getting the elevator installed at 7th Avenue and West 53rd Street. I've been calling the MTA out since 2020 now. And it just seems the MTA doesn't respect the family of Elijah Goodson. They don't seem to understand that a growing 3-year-old, the baby's 3 by now. They don't respect the family. They don't respect the fact that Elijah Goodson died taking a baby stroller down the steps. That should be priority. It should have been priority number one before Andy Byford left. It should have been. But no, we're going to put that aside. It had to be put aside given that we were in the worst of COVID. Okay, but once they got the federal funding, all right, we got 3 stimulus packages. 2 from Trump, 1 by Biden. How in the world do you not get that elevator done? Or at least start building it. 7th Avenue and West 53rd Street is a very, very busy area. It's right by the theater district. It's in walking distance to Times Square, basically. It's ridiculous. How is that station not accessible? It's ridiculous. So I need to focus on that. With Long Island Jewish, it's a simple situation. As I'm only going to make an exception if something major happens, like that shooting that almost happened last week. That was a very, very big deal. A very scary situation. But as I said in a couple previous videos, thankfully Northwell Health, and as I said, they have former NYPD cops and detectives who are well trained and can intervene in a situation like that. If they see someone with a gun, they're going to get involved. And, if I was in that situation, I would have whispered, into the phone and said, hey, we got a guy with a gun. Can you notify 105 Precinct? Because, trust me, that's what I would have done in that situation. And, I would have whispered it, I can't whisper on camera because what if the camera can't pick up my voice? Exactly. So I'm still baffled why the security extension wasn't called, because each Northwell Health employee is trained to call the extension first, and if something serious is happening, and especially because, again, I know the precinct very well in that area, so they have constant contact with the neighborhood coordinating officers. They get involved, and from there, that's what's supposed to happen. Instead, somebody called 911, which maybe that was the right thing to do. I don't know. I'm not the person who said that or anything, but hey, thankfully, I have the phone number to security on my cell phone. It's a very simple phone number. It's even on the website, but I'm not going to disclose that for privacy reasons, but I got to focus on going back to Long Island Jewish. And the more serious issue is, as I've mentioned before, the nursing home. We're still short-staffed. All right, not that many people realize that with CNAs who refuse to get vaccinated, thankfully, I don't know who they are, and I should know who they are because then it would get me even more upset. But, it's really short-staffed that I felt bad that I didn't work in January. It's like there was a guilty conscience that I was supposed to work my usual 2 days a week. I mean, maybe I would have stayed home Tuesdays. Maybe I would have went to Manhattan. I don't know. I mean, I only stayed home because I thought Omicron was going to overwhelm the hospital system. I literally thought that we were going to go back to March of 2020. For whatever reason, I had this bad thought. I'm thinking, this is the time to do it. I mean, if I don't go into quarantine now, then Omicron's going to get worse and worse and worse and worse. And then, But for the grace of God, this variant, for whatever reason, is subsiding. And thankfully, maybe we are going to go back to a sense of normal this year. I don't know. I'm praying we will. But there's going to be a stressful situation coming up in the next couple of months with my living situation. For whatever reason, if I do move to Delaware, I'm looking into it. Just like how Pine Power LI is still thinking of New Jersey. He's still thinking about it. He hasn't said if he's going to do it. My situation is, the crime is one thing. But the fact that this state is robbing me of my money. I mean, New York is robbing me of my money each and every day. Which I'm very upset about. Versus a state like Delaware. Delaware has a very fair tax bracket. So, you earn a lot of money, they take a lot out. If you earn a certain less amount, they just say, hey, you don't have to pay as much in income tax, for an example. So, that is a factor that needs to be brought up into why I would think about it. And I even said it to the MTA in the committees. It's like, for my mental health, I can't deal with the traffic if I even want to own a car or even think about getting my driver's permit. If I even want to think about learning how to drive. Because, first of all, do you know how much car insurance is in the state of New York? It's $200 on average. Versus Delaware, I can get a rate for $70, $80 a month. That's more reasonable. The gas is a little bit cheaper. You can blame Biden on raising the gas prices. Like shutting down that Keystone pipeline was a huge mistake. That's why prices keep going up. And we don't even know what that Ukraine situation, which that's a whole different story. But, for my mental health, I can't deal with the traffic. Right? I just can't deal with sitting in it, knowing that it's going to take me longer to get to a certain place. Versus a majority of the time in Delaware, which I know it very well, you can get around in Delaware not hitting the brakes. That's one positive about the state of Delaware. Get around pretty easily. You have your urban in Newcastle. You got most of your rural areas in Kent and Sussex. Primarily, I would be in Newcastle because I have a few friends in South Jersey that I know pretty well. Not going to say who, but I want to be close to them. And Flemington, for another example, if I do drive, is about an hour and a half drive. So, all I have to do is just cut through Pennsylvania, And if I want to see my said friend in Flemington, boom, makes it easy. That's only if I move. So, I don't know. I mean, a lot's going to have to figure out because my mental health is the most important thing right now. And if I keep calling out Spectrum News, it's not going to get me anywhere. And, you know, just being here in the house, I've been depressed just thinking about all this news going on. And if I keep making these videos, it's just not going to get me anywhere in my life. It's not going to make me feel productive. Versus, you know, talking about what I want to talk about whenever there is a major transit story going on, whenever there's a thing that Charlton needs me on the call for, or, you know, going back to work. I mean, I need more time and investment into that. I'm still going to do Andy Plays. That's still going to happen. I'm still going to talk about transit on occasion. Still going to have some fun other projects that I like to do that are more time consuming than just calling out Spectrum News all the time. So, there's that factor. But, I want to say one thing. The ultimate factor that would seriously make me want to leave Queens, that's a big factor. The bus redesign. I mean, if they take away my bus service, that's going to be a nightmare. I won't be able to get to work. From what the original plan was, technically I might have been able to get to Osnum. From what crazy bus routes they were thinking of planning, they were threatening to cut the Q31, which would have been a big problem. And then, you know, that why would you not have a bus going along Francis Lewis? That's still a dumb thing from that first draft plan. So, I need to devote my energy and time into that too. And I can't keep calling out Spectrum News for the crime anymore. You have to understand that, you know, you got to put yourself first most cases. I mean, I'm fighting for my survival right now. I mean, whatever money comes in every chance I get, I got to use it sparingly for what I need it for. You know, food keeps going up too. The price of food's gone up crazy. I'm barely even able to afford food. So, it's just very important that I focus on myself right now. For what's best for me, what you guys want to see, and, you know, I'm still going to make the best content and I think it's good for this channel. And I will mention that I've been getting called out, and my fellow colleague, Pine Power LI, have been getting called out by a former colleague of ours. I'm not going to say who he is, but that's another factor on why I need to, you know, focus on that. And then also keeping in mind, how am I going to have time to call out Spectrum News if I'm going to be busy helping Andrew Giuliani become the next governor of New York? That's another factor that needs to be brought into too. In fact, there was a poll that came out. Giuliani's up by 20 points against Lee Zeldin. Siena College poll that came out on Tuesday, the 22nd. Giuliani has a 20-point lead right now. So I cannot let my guard down on that. I may have to go to Long Island or, wherever I may need to go and maybe possibly volunteer, because that's another thing that I need to invest my time into too. Because we still technically have a chance to save our state at the moment. I mean, will I stay if the Wicked Witch somehow wins? I mean, the only deterring factor would be the bus redesign. The other deterring factor would be, if I were romantically involved with someone. If I had a partner in New York that wanted to focus on their career, like my ex-girlfriend, for an example, when I was still with her. I mean, how could I leave New York if she has a good-paying job and, it would be an example that I'm just putting out there. But if I did have a significant other, then I'd have to be considerate to significant other if they were making a lot of money and, help support them through it all. Which, I'm going to be honest, guys, it's been rough trying to find a significant other during COVID. It's just, I thought people had it easy 2 years ago, but apparently not now. But I'm just going to let you all know right now, don't even try to mess around with Tinder, because most of the women just don't want to go long term. And if you do find someone, they may not be the one. So always best to be careful out there. So that's pretty much what I have to say. I mean, I've gone on for long enough, and obviously this week I gotta get a haircut. I mean, you're gonna see this video sooner rather than later. I don't know when. I'm gonna work on putting it up. So I have an errand I need to take care of in Queens. And all I'm going to say is I'm trying to also see my friends more in person this year. I don't know if my parents, another factor is my parents are just literally giving me restrictions each and every day that I'm limited with, I cannot control, which I would love to have my own apartment, but again, I cannot get rent because we all know how landlords discriminate in New York. They'll find out I'm on SSI, they'll know I'm working part-time, and they'll see I have a limited income, and they'll say, oh, sorry, we're not going to rent to you because you have a disability, and you're not going to be able to maintain an apartment very well with rent. And you want to know how crazy it is, how bad rent is? Because this is the end of the video. Take a look at the card I'm going to put. This is a comedy sketch that I saw online. This guy is pretty funny. I kid you not. If you don't have $3,000 a month in New York City, you're done. You're not going to be able to get an apartment anywhere. Like one of my coworkers at Austin before COVID literally almost paid $3,000 a month for an apartment in Whitestone. $3,000 a month. I can't make that kind of money each and every month. It's not possible. I mean, thankfully I have savings. But, I need the savings in case of an emergency. I mean, those savings can't go into what? 2, 3, 4, 5 months of rent? That's for an emergency. And we all know how landlords discriminate. We've seen it on the news. So, with that, I'm going to wrap this up. You know, I wish things would be a lot easier in my life, but I gotta do what's best for me for now. And you'll see normal stuff on this channel coming up soon. I'm working on a lot of good things. In fact, little surprise here, got a separate iPhone. Because I was hoping that Uncover was going to release the iOS 15 jailbreak, so I wouldn't have to jailbreak the phone that I'm recording with now. So, hey guys, stay tuned. Might get a jailbreak tutorial. In fact, Checkbrain's possibly even coming back. So that's something I can look forward to as well. So, other things besides Andy Plays, we're still going to talk about sports. I'm still hoping the Major League Baseball lockout ends. Hoping by the end of this week there'll be good news. I mean, I know the Knicks and the Islanders stink this year, but you know, March Madness is coming up. I got that to look forward to. We're still going to do Anitology in March. That's going to be great. A couple other fun stuff I'm planning for in March. I mean, you'll see stuff. You probably won't see stuff every day, but you're going to see stuff on the channel. That's all I'm going to say. Maybe every other day, but I don't know. But yeah, guys, that's just going to wrap it up. Just look forward to more stuff coming out in March. I promise I'm really working hard. So, that's it.